Good afternoon. My name is Miriam Petersen. We are here to present a proposal for hearing loss. This is a project design class. I am here with stakeholder Maria Sanchez and stakeholder Emilio Lopez. We will cover a few items this afternoon. I will start with empowering people to comply with safety procedures by preventing hearing loss. In our next slide, we have a table of contents, objectives, hypothesis, executive summary, statement of the problem, introduction, findings, methods, research questions, and we want to talk more about procedures, the survey and discussion, budget, short and long-term benefits. I am also including a reference list. Um, my objectives to present to you guys this afternoon is the prevention of hearing loss. Develop and create an atmosphere of cultural safety, monthly evaluations for safety by respecting cultural variations, and we're going to incorporate safety meetings. We want to utilize safety surveys and safety meetings per 10 to 20 minutes. We want to talk about strategic budgets for earplugs, and we want to promote that adaptability that employees can accomplish and embrace these rules. Empowering people to meet higher needs in the organization to help part-time and full-time employees. That is one of our goals. I'm using these pictures also as my hypothesis, in this environment, we want to find out if employees are exposed to loud noises. And my alternate hypothesis is that there have been loud noises within the factory environment, which tends to affect their hearing capability, thus affecting their productivity in the organization. So I want to address to you a few things that I find out in this research. The research actually is conducted for the concern of hearing loss, mainly caused by loud noises in the workplace. Most employees involved in the workplace that contain loud noises are exposed to several damage of the eardrum. Um, this is a serious statement. Statement of the problem is indicated that the usage of the data from a noise factory can cause ear damage. Employees working in factories that involve loud noises during production are at significant risk of hearing loss, hence will require necessary support. Part of my research, I spent a lot of time by finding ways to prevent hearing loss. One of the things that we can do is to improve and provide an educational program. This program can be put on place, and we can have the safety meeting helping us, and we will eventually coordinate someone that will direct this program to the employees so the employees can get into the habit to wear earplugs. Um, Here on my introduction, after proper research on best measurements, it is our mission to prevent hearing loss. This research identified four main factors that cause hearing loss among human beings. My research showed that it can be part of the generic age, loud music, and traumatizing events, as well as the exposure of loud machines. All these are reasons for hearing loss. We want to talk about more findings, recommendations, a plan of action, a budget, and a resolution. Uh, Part of this problem, can have uh, a way to maybe show the employees that it's not only on them to wear their earplugs, but it's also part of the company to educate employees to get into the habit to wear earplugs. I noticed that a lot of the workstations have their boxes where we're supposed to add new earplugs, and they're not filling up constantly because no one is there to supply the business in a way that they monitor some data. How did they do it? Do they do it every week, they do it every month. So right now we had an urgency to have people that make sure all those stations have the boxes filled up or earplugs. That way an employee can freely walk into the station and pick their earplugs and install it in their ears. But part of the things that I want to show you is that on my findings, you know how much you empower people. Can we empower people by saying, here, we provide the earplugs to you, here's the steps how you wear your earplugs, and this is how you avoid ear infection. Because sometimes earplugs can give you ear infections if you don't change them constantly. You know, you cannot use the same pair for the whole week. We recommend for them to change it daily. If they lose one earplug, they probably had to go back and get a new package. You know, loud noises and music have been the leading causes of hearing loss among most of the people across the world. In my research, I did some comparison using some methods and find out what really is the problem. You know, there is one person in a specific research that says since access to the noise places among teenagers has been considered to cause hearing loss, it is essential to avoid exposure to such places. Besides, with most of the U.S. factories which produce loud noises during production. This statement was made by this author, Carl, and a different person that participated on the research back in 2017. In my case, you know, I select these three questions that what are the ways to reduce the level of noise in most of the U.S. companies? How does a high noise level in a factory cause hearing loss? How will an employer could help their employees to avoid hearing loss? Those are questions that we have to keep in consideration. You know, the procedures. The procedures for my surveys was implemented by selecting six groups with 6 participants. We have random sampling data for this population that was on line 4. This research had the maximum of 1 week, and this applied participants time and observe and record the noise. The best collection methods of data that I used was observation as well as experimental analysis through the exposure of loud noises. I came with the result that some of the answers from the employees were very honest. You know, where they truly said one of the reasons why they avoid to wear earplugs is because nobody followed behind them, nobody reinforced these rules, and a lot of times they don't find the supplies at the place they expect to find the supplies. And then again, you know, we want to make sure that we discuss some of the contributions they did and my findings for the surveys. I had a collaboration of 22 employees, and then I compared the findings of previous research from information. I review it, and this research primarily portrayed the results that people is really neglecting their ears. They don't understand how severe the damage can be, and it's irreversible. Once you lose your good hearing, it does not come back to yourself. You need to start wearing hearing aids, which we don't want this to happen to any of our employees. I use some of the Likert questions in my survey, and then I truly believe that the employees were honest and they were trying to give their best scenario. The hearing loss survey engagement was giving me some results where we need to implement consistency. We need to build our network, and we had to put an effectiveness of a program over a year, but also we had to bring a strategy program that will help to embrace every employee to get into the habit to wear their earplugs. Well, right now I had a budget, which is an investment for a resolution. Part of my details on the budget will mention educational program in the workplace for the value of $1,000. We had traveling costs for the value of $1,000, installation of loud detectors for $1,000, purchase of long and soft earplugs, $5,000. Total budget, $8,000. This is the plan, and actually we want to consider this plan because there is a poster that we had in the safety room that talks about personal protection equipment requirements. So we already include hearing protection. Right now, I am trying to educate the internal employees to get into the habit to wear the earplugs, but we also have to come together with a resolution in which we will provide the neon earplugs. There are soft that cannot cause any damage inside the ears. We're trying to avoid infections. One of the short-term benefits is that if we're conducting the hearing loss research, this will help the organization to avoid a claim or a lawsuit. We want employees to lower the risk for noise exposure, and we want to improve communication with the organization because it will be a smooth flow of business operation as well. Um, it is very important that you know that long-term benefits and organization will be the result of higher productivity. The employees will not have health issues. And in my next slide, which I want to mention more about another long-term benefit in our industry, is to improve the work environment that will reflect and make us look good. Um, this company is a great company. These are my references. I just would like to find out if you as a stakeholder interested to help your employees, do you feel that this proposal mirrors the values and mission of the company?
Yes, I do feel that the proposal does mirror the values in our company, and we do advocate any program that does bring value to the support of the safety procedures.
Do you have any initial concerns with the budget proposal for $8,000?
No, I think $8,000 is very reasonable, and we are more than welcome to bring you guys on board for the initial cost and to bring forth more safety procedure and policy for our company.
Um, for Ms. Sanchez, are you open to the idea of potentially expanding research and funding in the future to analyze and collect data on hearing exposure within your company?
The company sees a good return on investment if the employees are happy with the policies and we see a change due to this, then yes, we'll be open to talk about it and expand.
How do you feel about partnering with other organizations and nonprofits to conduct worker audiometric testing and provide additional resources to your employees, Ms. Sanchez?
I feel that partnering with other organizations is a great idea. It will not only benefit us as a company, but it will benefit other companies in the industry with the research that we're doing. So, yes.
If you guys decided to participate and bring the $8,000 as an investment, do you have some ideas how we're gonna conduct this program in your company?
We already require really heavily safety glasses, so I feel that we can do the same with earplugs and training. If we already do the safety glasses, we shouldn't have a problem to do the earplugs as well.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for me concerning our budget or any other additional questions for the action plan?
Just wanted to know that if we do proceed forward, will your company be doing the training for our production manager so that he can implement the earplugs across the board?
Yes, absolutely. I really think the production managers are the key to educate our employees and they can get together with the safety team and we can monitor them once a week or twice a week. Do you have some more concerns about the budget and the observations?
So is this program an all year round thing or just a few months or how long is it?
I suggest to implement this program for the whole year because 12 months is we actually produce in the window of 12 months, so it's necessary to have it and have a lot of success by embracing the employees during the full year.
Right.
Well, thank you for your time. It was nice to have your participation in this presentation. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to put this program in effect.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.